Hey kids, Invertical here, and welcome back to Empyrion multiplayer. It's been just over a week since the last episode. A lot has happened. I haven't been able to do any recordings in the last week or so because we had a bit of a forest fire going on around my house, and well, honestly, I actually have been busting my ass trying to keep my house from getting burned down. All is well, everything's fine, real life sucks, we're back at it. Okay, that being said, as you can see, I am standing on top of the turtle, and yes, this time I have painted it with green and speckles for camouflage, and that's about it. I have added a few new, a few new modifications to it. Of course, I put 4 multi-turns on the top, and one of the last updates came out. They indicated, or they introduced, a hover vessel medic station and respawn point. These are things I have said that we have needed in hover vessels for a very long time. I've also included a what was the radar dish is now the detector, which I don't know if I can show it to you. Yeah, it now looks like this antenna. It's buried in the wall someplace on this ship, and yeah, works just fine. The other thing they have introduced is Xerix patrols. I wasn't going to bring the turtle in. I wanted to basically just rely on faction resources, faction structures, and faction tanks for everything. But I like to scavenge. I hate building. I hate sitting there spending all of my time placing concrete blocks. There are guys here who love building and who do a really good job of it, and I encourage that at all times, but that is not me. Sorry, I don't build. And because they introduced the Xerix, I brought this in because the design for this tank was very simply. It's a mobile base, essentially. It's a mobile command center, mobile command base, mobile support base, however you want to call it. It is not a frontline battle tank, but it is something to park. Shortly after I brought it in, of course, somebody else decided to create one in creative and bring their own version of something similar in, which is another story that I won't get into right now. It's also fairly sad news. Both Spange and Static Hair have left the faction, have quit playing Empyrion altogether, and have decided to go on to bigger and better things. Part of that is some internal politics that I don't want to get into. And unfortunately, I think that might be one of the biggest downsides to this entire season, because, well, it was because of Spange and Static and the way that they play and the repertoire we had with them that was a big part of the reason why I had decided to continue playing on the server. I'm not completely giving up on it yet, but let's just say we're awful close. I had planned on not rejoining the server, but it was actually because I had talked to those 2 gentlemen that I had decided to join it again this season. So as I said, real life sucks. That being said, the Syndicate is now under new management, and they are doing their thing to try to build stuff up and get everything organized. We have had to dig out this base 3 or 4 times now, completely. Essentially, this whole mountainside is hollow underneath. So you're looking at about 3 to 4 hours of 3 to 4 people drilling and digging So they have started construction on a new structure that's not underground, because every time there's an update, everything gets buried, and everybody's getting really, really, really irritated with having to dig it all out all over again. One of the other things that happened is Wolf brought in a big monster tank, something that he had been working on for a while. I was at work at the time, so I never even had a chance to participate in the complete assault and destruction of said tank. But I did have an opportunity to disassemble said tank. Give you an idea of how large it is, or was. This was after it had already been stripped by several faction members several times over. I took the rest of it apart last night, and this loot is what I pulled off of it. That's right. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 blocks of hardened steel. A mess of RCSs and some random other bits. Now, don't forget, some other faction members had already stripped tons of hardened steel off it. There's one guy who had been working on it with a multi-tool for an hour or so. I know after they brought it back here, they took all of the generators and hover pads and thrusters off of it and put them into other ships. It was quite nice. They've actually erected a monument to it down here where it happened. Apparently it was destroyed down in this area. They erected a monument to it and said, oh, there you go. Other things that has changed since our last recording: they implemented a fog of war. When you have not, like if you have spawned on planet, everything is black. It's actually not this opaque color that it is. You have to do is literally fly to space and return to the planet to be able to see the terrain underneath the thing. I have been working at trying to get some stuff done, and it's really, really, really annoying when you can't stay when you can't see more than 100, 200 feet in front of you. So there we go. That's all the news that needs to be told and everything that's been happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire this up. Now, I told the new faction leadership that my primary thing, the thing that I do the most of, is scavenge, salvage, forage, all those kind of fun things. I am not a builder. I'm not, like, I'll help construct, but I am not a builder. I am not a person who likes to make things. I'm a person who likes to get into it and mix it up with the enemy a little bit, but I'll also go scavenging, which is, he's fine with that, because to make certain things such as the food rations, you need to scavenge. Now, I've been wanting to get over to a lake or a swamp that I had found when on day one, and continue working on building a not an underwater base, but a water base, place to collect some water resources and such. And yeah, you'll see the miniguns fire constantly, destroying spiders and bugs and Xerix, and even robots. All of these are on the planet now, and they are very, very annoying. Oh, you are a stone golem. I see you. So what I have been doing a lot of recently, is exactly what I'm doing right now. Just basically go out, hunt Xerix, hunt bad guys, collect corpses, and collect resources. The rares and most of the other resources can basically be found through stone golems and through iron golems, or the not Minecraft today, through the ice golems and such that are on the planet. And one of the things you really have to do is spend a lot of time collecting that kind of thing. I do want to try to bring in the harvester again, but I'm a little leery about it because of the numbers of Xerix. Now, you'll see the numbers of Xerix once I get further away from the point defense towers that are all over the base, because they keep them basically thinned down. Getting a lot of that kind of thing happening recently too, is material glitches right into the planet. There's one of the good things about although it did spawn me outside this time for some reason, but one of the good things about the tank with the respawn chamber in it now is you can literally just pop back in and you're right close to the field of combat. If you get killed by random creatures and you're not goodness knows where away. Let's see if I can go pick that up without getting mauled. Okay, kids, we have made it to the beach. It's taken me 2 full in-game days. It's actually sunset on almost day 2 here. And there is a whole line of dead Xerix and robots and critters and creatures and all kinds of other strange things trailing through the brush. Yeah, the trees don't get knocked down by tanks anymore, so a small twig can stop, a 200-ton tank at full throttle. Can be stopped by just a tiny little twig or a little itty-bitty rock. It's annoying, but it's it's part of the game. It's how it is. I was going to build a small platform out here, but then I realized that one of the other changes that they have made is hover vessel constructors don't make base cores anymore. You open up this constructor here, I can build truss blocks, I can build artificial mass blocks, I can build steel blocks. I can't build concrete blocks, I can't build wood blocks. Normally, when I'm trucking around in the wilderness, especially with this tank, and I'm going to a place to build a base, what I would do is I would take one of these constructors and I'd order up, you know, the core, and I'd probably go in here and I'd order up any reasonable components, base components that I was going to think that I was going to require, and then I would load another one like this one, for example. I would load up 3-4 stacks of stone, and I'd just queue up a whack of stone or wood blocks depending on what I was going to do. So yeah, there you go. There's another thing that Empyrion has messed up with the game. You can't build on the road, you can't build on the fly. So now I have to do is go and see if I actually still have them here. Yeah, all I'll have to do is I'll go and I'll place a couple portable constructors. I'll build some base components and such, and we'll go from there. It's very, very, very annoying, but you know, I don't build the game, I just play it. So I'm probably going to do that next. I want to make myself I want to bring the harvester in. I've already queued up the factory for it. I want to bring that in so I can actually clear cut a whole whack of these trees and collect a lot of the ground flowers and things that I really need. I've been generating hot beverages and energy drinks as I go. The energy drinks will cure stunned, and you get stunned a lot on this planet with the spitting spiders will hit you with stun. I think the big butt bugs do too, but usually whenever I get shot by big butt bugs, I usually end up dead in a couple of seconds. But here I am at the beach, finally. This is where I was at the end of day one, where I was actually attempting to build out in the water so I can collect pentaxit for the guys to warp back and forth to the trade centers or to the traders. It's kind of annoying me here. Everything I had built in the water here was completely wiped and obliterated. And yeah, my entire inventory, actually, of all things, disappeared in the water because the game updates. The Xerox invasion made it almost impossible. I actually had to get rescued, which is something that doesn't happen often with me. I don't normally like to rely on others. If I can't get back on my own, then there's a problem. But I literally could not get out of the water onto the beach long enough to put down a bike and ride for cover because I was shot before I even got to shallow water because of the numbers of Xerox on the shore. And of course you couldn't shoot a gun from in the water, so I was stuck. Yeah, it was not fun. But anyhow, it's taken me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get down here. I'm probably going to do a little bit more foraging today and maybe do a little bit of work in the water, and we'll see how it goes. And I'll catch you on the next episode where hopefully we actually get some action happening, because I joined the player versus player factions because I wanted to play versus environment. I really didn't want to play against other players. I just wanted to play against environmental hazards. And that was pure unadulterated sarcasm, in case you missed it. Yeah, Hey kids, Inverted Cow here. Welcome back. I have been at a location that I found where I have found some Optuna cactus. I've been working away here, and I heard an explosion, turned around, and one of my gun turrets seems to have been shot out here, and I saw a ship just flying away across this hillside over here behind me. I'm going to see if I can track it down, but I have a feeling that that was our enemies, because the other guys in my faction are not exactly being active right now. One guy is playing around, one guy is doing something else, but yeah, I think we just had a flyby shooting, and I'm going to try to get these guys' attention and say that we need to be aware that we might be under attack. Let me just switch TeamSpeak back on here.
Where it is.
No, they have some ammo in them. I might just have to go out with one of these.
Did either of you just fly over top of my tank and shoot me? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. There is a wolf ship heading from the south towards our base.
Yeah, I was basically just saying that.
Okay. I'm going to start trying to make my way towards it. I've got all guns on now.
Try to make my way towards it with a Crusader.
Yeah.
Where is it? I can't see it.
Do you know that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell. I saw the explosion, or I heard the explosion on my turtle, and I turned around, and I saw the ship flying over the horizon, like he was just going behind a mountainside. So I can't tell which way he went because they were off my map by the time I got a look at him.
Yeah, I'm like on top of the mountain right now.
Okay, I'm 1.5 kilometers away.
Alright.
I'm just scrambling my fighter, because I'm just grabbed some more ammo.
Did we get any plasma charges from the Odin?
I think they shot all of them before we even got to it.
If you need rockets, I can drop some off. I took pretty much all of them, so that just to make sure I've got enough ammo, because they're only
What's
about.
pretty much all of them? Have you loaded up like 6,000 rockets into your ship?
No, I've loaded up like 1,500 rockets into my ship.
Okay.
I mean, I can get, like, you can take half of the plasma charges from this thing, like the Crusader, because it's not gonna shoot all of those in that battle.
Just what I'm saying is, if you need rockets, then I can probably spare a few.
So what we're using, we've got the turtle out, we've got your SV out.
Yep.
What's
We've also got a
what's
Crusader
Cowan?
out.
Cow's in the turtle, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I know. I was out doing some scavenging, and they shot one of my artilleries out, so I just parked it up on the ridge here. I've got all guns active, but I don't have any plasma ammo, so it's basically miniguns, rockets, and artilleries.
I can run back to the base and get you some plasma ammo.
Yeah, you could knock him up about 2,000 rounds or something. That should probably be enough, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
How many plasmas you got? That's only about 15 aerostrom. It'd be alright.
I mean, I feel like we should just do one last fight and then see what everyone else wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting here now as far as I'm concerned, it's one more shenanigans, because you know,
Like,
Spange and Static were the only reasons I actually decided to join the server this season. Is because Spange asked me to join.
Spange convinced me to join as well.
Yeah.
But the only reason I haven't left is because I paid my money, so I want to try and get my money's worth.
Well, Magic basically just blatantly used God mode on stream.
Really?
Yeah, he did. Like, I'm even questioning the amount of damned resets we've had recently. On the
Some of those
planet.
were unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Why 7 billion time? Like.
He set the first one of the I think not the last reset. The reset before was in order to set up the Xerax patrols, but he wiped the ground in order to do it. And I don't think you need to do that because he deleted the area file, which you don't need to delete. And then he did it again when he took the because I said to him, "Oh, the Zyrex patrols are too heavy," because he set them at 15. I said they're too heavy, so he said, "Oh, after that battle we had and he lost the Odin tank, he said I'm going to change it," and he used the update as an excuse to change it, and he's changed it down to 5.
Which,
But
I mean, that's
then he
fine.
reset the ground again when he did that. I think maybe it was a scouting mission gone wrong. I don't understand why he was going to drop Wolf off on foot, because that was stupid. He just get killed by turrets.
Wolf wanted to place something down or so.
But you can't place without a base.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
I wouldn't put it past him having a bunch of sizable base blueprints and just placing
Exactly.
them down.
I think that was the plan.
If he managed to get anything next to a tower, it would be God moded in, because there's
Yeah.
no way he could survive being hit by the turrets.
Or or get anywhere near within range.
I mean,
Yeah, but I don't. Again, that
They would have been fine if they hadn't shot at the turtle. I wouldn't have noticed them. You know, target of opportunity, and sometimes it's best to be discreet.
The Spanish original idea, in my opinion, was way better. With the 2 planets, with basically the 2 actual starter planets for both of us. So we could mine those out. Then there was a big planet in the middle, like we are on right now, with only gold deposits on it. Which at that point you'd need CVs to actually do shit.
Yeah.
Right
There's no,
now,
there's no reason to
literally
leave this
have no
planet
use.
other than to go and trade. There's no reason to leave.
Exactly.
So the gameplay is flawed.
Yeah, I'd agree. Has anything happened in the last 5 minutes I should know about?
No clue.
I've replaced about 20 blocks. Does that make anything worthwhile?
No, I was just.
Do you need to
asking
know
if
that?
there was any
I've
change.
sat
One
here
second.
picking my nose, waiting for something interesting to happen.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I've got to go again. 1 second.
It's his mum calling to see if he's done his homework.
Let's take the fight to them.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Go.
I'm with
We've
you.
got
Go,
we've got
go,
a
go,
Crusader
do
tank,
it.
so who's got a Crusader tank?
Me.
We might as well use them. 'Cause
I've got 1.
Yeah.
I'm next to the Nomad. Oh, I'm gonna bump into the Nomad.
Okay, the destroyer fish is good to go.
Yeah. Don't wait for me, because I'm fighting through these. Down there, got a chainsaw my way down
I
there.
haven't hit any trees yet.
Oh, you're lucky. I'm in the middle of a freaking thick forest.
Why are my artillery shooting back at
Oh crap. Why am I taking all the fire? You're way closer.
Because I'm setting my turrets up.
Okay, I'm getting out of range.
I'm literally going right next to it. I've lost arty turrets already. I really don't care.
The front side of the ship is a bit messed up.
Why is it not shooting? Come on, fire, damn you. There you go.
It's not a
Why is
good
my
focus for
artillery
me.
turret not firing?
Oh damn, my arties are both gone.
I guess my cockpit got shot out.
I mean, I'm
Die,
just gonna be
turrets!
driving straight to the base. I don't care anymore.
Good news is I can. Oh, what? I spawned in the clone chamber on the Nomad, and I spawned on top of the ship.
Damn, what the? How? Where did they get all these resources?
What
Like,
resources?
seriously. Come on, I just need to get out of the water and then I can actually fly into their base.
This tank's got massive chunks of it missing, like half of it's missing.
Yeah,
Oh, I've got another hostile. Oh, holy shit. It just rented in. Bloody hell. Where the fuck did they get all of these resources from?
Yeah.
They're buying them the
Okay,
same as we are.
Mega bullshit.
What have they got?
There's, like, that defense platform. There's one 5 times its size.
Yeah.
And then there's about 10 of them. 1 second, guys.
I'm done. I'm gonna be leaving now. Like,
Oh, fuck hell. I just got internal error.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be respawning and hop off anyway, so...
My ship's gone. I can see it exploding.
Yeah. Well, Cow, if you want to keep your thing, don't go to it, because there is no way to get past that damn wall
Yeah.
that they put up. Which is ugly.
Defense tower is only spawning in when I'm at point blank range. You know, it's like I have to get within 200 meters before it shows up. Are you guys dead?
Yeah, my tank's completely fucking annihilated.
Oh, I thought the crusade was still going.
I got an internal error and then it just got completely annihilated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is pointless. Like, he's obviously spawning any resources from the amount of towers they've got. Like, there's absolutely no way they could build that much without it.
I don't know. They've had Ultron working his ass off there, so